Good morning. So today I want to kind of just go over the importance of having a clean coop and a clean area for your chickens. This is probably primarily for new chicken keepers. Maybe even some people who have had chickens for a while, they just didn't know. So one of the infections or an illness that a chicken can get, and I butcher this name every time, it's called Toxidia. And that is spread through the feces. So when chickens are scratching or giving themselves dirt baths, it also gets on their feathers, and then by them preening or cleaning themselves with their beak, they ingest it, or, like I said, scratching on the ground, they, peck at it, and if every chicken's pooping and they eat it, they can get this, and it's a parasite. It can make them really, really sick. So one of the important things is to make sure that you have a clean coop. So I come in my coop and I kick everybody out. As you can see, the door for them to go outside is actually closed because I kick everyone out when I do this. But I come in at once a week at least and just rake it out, and then probably at least once a month. This will depend on how many birds that you have in your coop, on how often you need to do it. But about once a month I go through with a scraper and I scrape everything, because they will, when they're on their perches, they will poop and it hits everything. So I'll go through and I scrape it really good and get it all cleaned out. And then about 3 times a year I come through with a sprayer, and you can do this with a spray bottle if you don't have a big sprayer or even a hand pump sprayer. And I do a mixture of vinegar and water, and whenever I get to that point I'll go over what I do as far as the mixture, and I spray everything down, because vinegar, distilled white vinegar, is an antibacterial, it's an antimicrobial, it's got a lot of cleaning properties in it. I mean, you can use it in your kitchen as a natural degreaser. So I'll come in as soon as I get all this scraped and cleaned out, and I'm going to spray the whole coop down with a vinegar and water solution to make sure that I'm killing any yuckies that might be in here that could cause the birds to get sick. And Toxidia is just one thing that chickens can get. They can get a lot of different illnesses, but I'll do a separate video just on chicken illnesses and kind of what to watch for each one. So I'm going to go ahead and get this coop clean and get it all scraped and raked out and get it ready for them to come back in. So I've got everything scraped, and my coop is actually divided into 4 separate sections. I got their nesting boxes cleared out so I can spray those as well. And this little room right here, I have a light in here just so I can see what I'm doing. I don't keep it on for the birds, but this room, this little pen, it's just like a little, I want to say about a 4 by 3 foot pen. I use that if I have, say, a broody hen or someone who's sick. It just gives me an extra area. And then I have the sides blocked off, because when your broody hen hatches her babies, they fit right through there. So I've got it all cleaned up. So now I'm going to go ahead and get it sprayed. So one of the tools that I use to scrape everything, because one thing that's nice about chicken poop is whenever it dries, it comes up really easy. Now I got this at Walmart. It's a 3-inch stripping shovel. It's a really hard plastic, And because it's got the sides, whenever you're cleaning out the nesting boxes, you can actually use it as a little shovel to get everything out of there as well. So, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and get this sprayed down. I try to spray my coop for sure twice a year, if not 3 times a year. And what I use is I use a vinegar and water solution. And your ratio is going to be 2 to 1. So 2 parts water to 1 part vinegar. I have a 15-gallon sprayer, so it's got, 5 gallons of vinegar and 10 gallons of water in it. You can do this with a hand pump. You can do this with, a regular spray bottle, depending on the size of your coop. Because my coop is so large, that's why I have the bigger sprayer. But it is a 2 to 1 ratio, so you're going to do 2 parts water to 1 part vinegar. And it's just white distilled vinegar that you get, at your local grocery store or Walmart or wherever it is that you shop. So let's get this sprayed and get this sanitized. Now I do try to saturate the wood really good, and I try to saturate the ground the best that I can. You can also do a sloshing method where you just pour it onto the ground and let it soak in. That is another option, but when you are cleaning it and using the vinegar solution or anything like that, you don't want to use cleaners inside your coop. But I still kick everybody out and make sure that nobody's in. I do have that side of the coop blocked off because I have a hen in there trying to lay an egg. So I'm going to go and do this side of the coop, and then I'll open back up the other side of the coop. She's blocked off, so she won't, the smell won't bother her and the spray won't get to her. Also, I guess you can't see it from there, but I do have power in my coop, so I am going to be really careful not to spray the power. Not all coops have power. You don't need to have power in your coop. I just do because it was already here when I got the property and converted this building into a coop. So I got the coop all cleaned up. Got the nesting boxes with new pine shavings. And then this nesting box was actually over here. We took it down, and that is a curved shower rod that I was going to throw away, but repurposed it, and that way they have another roost. But the reason I wanted to put the nesting box down there is because my silkies can't seem to quite make it up to the top. So maybe that'll be easier for them. We'll try it out and see. But we'll see if that works. These ones up here I can access from the back, but not those. Not these ones down here. She says, "Excuse me. May I have some privacy, please?" Okay, so since we did move this nesting box, what I did is I placed an egg, and these are real eggs. These are the ones that they were laying while I was trying to clean, in each box. That one's got a couple. So I put an egg in each one so that they know, because if you have chickens, you know that they tend to always want It's like whoever, you know, lays the first egg designates the spot for the day, and everybody wants that nest. So this way they can kind of see that each box is a nesting box. So it's also really important that you rake out their runs on a regular basis as well, because, you know, chickens do scratch and peck at the ground. So if their runs are full of feces as well, then you're still going to risk them getting some kind of illness from the Toxidia or coccidius, or however you say it. And then their dirt baths, I still need to add fresh dirt to that, so I'll get that done. So keeping a coop clean and keeping your runs clean is really important for the health of your birds. And one way to kind of look at it is, if you have all of your chickens in small individual pens, you have to clean more often, because chickens poop a lot. Yes, thank you. So if you have them in a small confined area, then they're just constantly going to be in their own poop. And you know, chickens like their feet clean, as far as they don't want to be walking in the poop. And if your chicken's feet are always wet and always muddy, it could stop them from laying eggs. So, you know, and chickens can get respiratory infections and all kinds of other things from their living conditions. So you want to make sure that you keep their coops clean, keep their runs clean. And if you have a bigger coop to where all of your chickens can be together, because chickens are very social and their body heat off of the other helps keep them warm, especially in the winters, then you've only got one big area to clean. Now, my coop is actually pretty large for what it is. It actually used to be a farrowing pen, and we converted it into a chicken coop and put in dividers so that if I need to separate separate chickens or ducks or whatever, I can. Like right now, I've got the bigger run separated so that I can have the new arrivals over there while they're in quarantine. And they're able to come into the front side of the coop at night, but not to where everybody else is. So they're still coming in at night for shelter and for protection against predators. But I only have the one big coop, and then I have the two runs, so I just have to clean the one. So if you have individual small pens, then you're going to be cleaning a lot more often, and it's a lot more work to do. This way, you know, there's more ground for them to cover. And you should still clean it, like rake out your pens and rake out your coop at least once a week. And then do a thorough cleaning at least once a month. And then the sanitizing spray 2 to 3 times a year, depending on how many chickens that you have. And like I said, the ratio is 2 parts water to 1 part vinegar. Now, if you're doing it in a smaller area or whatever, and you want to make it more concentrated, you can do a 1-to-1 ratio. But I wouldn't ever go over a 1-to-1 ratio. I would never put more vinegar than I have water. So now all I have left is the duck house, and then we will be done getting everybody cleaned up and ready for, you know, to be able to go to bed tonight. So it's important for ducks to have a safe, clean area as well to sleep in. Our ducks are in here at night to keep predators away from them, actually. And having them off the ground is better because it's more work for the predators to get in. So what I'll do is I'll go ahead and scrape all of this out, just like I did with the chicken coop. And then I'm going to spray it really good with the vinegar and water solution to sanitize it and make sure that there's no bacteria in there either. So if you have any questions, please feel free to put them down in the comment section, and I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit us up on Instagram, and we'll catch you on the next video. Have a good day.